I have been told by a lot of you guys, a lot of my friends, that I have a knack for choosing cool gear items. A decent taste in gear, if you will. Knives, guns, vehicles apparently, all types of stuff. Clothing, tactical gear. I weed out what I think is the garbage and I bring to tabletop what I think is the best. That's what I tried to do. When we talk about knife reviews, for instance, when I started doing a ton of them about 8 years ago, what I concentrated on were high value but super cool brands and models. People dialed into T&P. They've never carried a knife before, never a sport knife, never a tactical knife, heck, never even a pocket knife, and yet I created a lot of addicts. A lot. Tens of thousands of guys, some girls, that watched the show, they dug it, they went out and bought the things that I recommended, and they go, this is cool. And guess what? Now you're hooked. Now you're an addict. Now you want to add more collection. And then as years go by, they'll refine their tastes, maybe sell some of those items if it's worth selling. Get more. Guess what? I'm doing the same thing with watches now, which is fun. But in order to do that, in order not to break your personal bank, some of you are cash strapped, I have to concentrate on some pretty high value brands. That's what I'm doing with this review. But I have to give you an admission here. I kind of thought these watches were going to suck. So they look great. They really do. Here they come. I've got 3 on the post right now. The Naviforce Adventure watches. When I was researching watches to buy and review, I was like, dude, those look great. And then I looked at the price. What? 17 bucks a piece? How can they be any good? I bought 5 of them for less than 100 bucks. I was hoping they'd be good, but honestly, in the back of my mind, I said, these are probably going to break. They're probably going to suck, and I'm going to have to do a negative review on them, and so be it. So if you told me a year ago, hey, you're going to be doing a very positive review on the Naviforce, I'd have gone, oh, I don't know about that. I honestly have my doubts, dude. Yeah, because, I mean, how good can they be? 17 bucks? Well, I'm here to tell you right now, just go out and buy one. Check it out for yourself. It's less than 20 bucks. Even if it did break, who cares? It's just 20 bucks. Wear it for a year. If it breaks, throw it in the garbage. It's disposable. Heck, some of the other watches I'm reviewing are around 400 bucks. And that's inexpensive. 17 bucks for a watch? Link below, by the way, in Amazon. And I bought a variety of styles of the Naviforce brand. You're looking at some of them. And there are some strap variations that I've done. I'll start off with this one. And I don't even know what the model is. But I'm kind of doing this in some of these reviews, these WRVs. Look at the styling on it and how good looking this watch is. Of course, they're Chinese produced. They have to be at this price level, no doubt. But this has like deep 3D markers, numerals. I mean, that is like some very expensive Breitling watches, which no doubt they took design cues from. There's a lot of copying going on in the watch world for sure, but as far as I know, these are not copying any direct watch. They're kind of their own animal, their own design. I like this one, has big watch hands. I love the Naviforce logo on each one with the red and white. And you have a date on this one and a day. And they're separate for 17 bucks? Geez, I'm going to concentrate on this one real quick. And this is an aftermarket Barton brand I put on here. Light blue variety. I will show you the leather one. It's on the other 2 right here. I really love this band though. It's so cool. Link below. I just love Barton bands. They have included pins in here, spring loaded, so you don't even need a tool to swap them out. Quick look at the case back here. This has a Japanese movement. I think it's a citizen movement in there. They buy them in bulk, install them. Quartz movement, of course. There's your model number right there. NF9061 mic, it looks like. Good water resistance. We have swam with these and we didn't have any leakage at all. I didn't go scuba diving with them though, and I don't know if that'd be appropriate. Look at the stem on this one, the crown. Kind of a bolt look to it. the logo. I mean, a $17 watch. Now, this one I don't think was worn a ton, and I'm not sure what black coating they're using. It's not PVD, it's probably Teflon or something that will wear off. So I think if you hard use this one, it's going to show some wear, but I don't care. It just looks more Boba Fett, right? Mineral glass, and that is probably a downside of these. We have found that the crystals will scratch up, and so on some of them, I've put like a crystal protector on them. And I don't know if I have one on the table to show you or not. This is a good looking watch. I think it's really good looking with the blue band. It stands out. Second hand, we'll look at that. Not really super legible, the second hand, because it's black against black. I kind of wish it was red. But the important hands, the hour and the minute, are white, and they stand out with high legibility. You can see right there it says Japanese movement. Easy to set the day and date. I have heard of failures on this of the crown. So dude said he unscrewed it, pulled it out, and the whole crown came out. I could see that happening. I mean, you know, how much quality control are they doing at 17 bucks? All I can tell you is what the experience we had, which has been great. Really good. Now here's a different model, the Naviforce, and I got to show you this band. This is the leather band that it came with. Contrast heavy stitching. Metal clasp, keeper, and it's a rather thick leather band, and that's one downside. I don't like a super thick, fat saddle thickness band on my watches. It's kind of goofy and obnoxious to me. That's one reason I put this Barton band on this one. But it's decent, and you definitely do not have to take it off. My son, Last Suspect, when he wears his Naviforce, he'll wear it with a leather band. Totally. He has his own. I mean, he's bought his own because they're cheap, man. Look at this back right here. Naviforce for Dream. Let me see. I haven't even peeled the back sticker off on this one. This is Naviforce 9028 mic M. Professional waterproof. 30 meter water resistant. I forgot to tell you the depth, which is adequate. This is a protected crown right here. Different design. Still we have some three-dimensional stuff going on. Sorry for the fingerprints. Good looking face. Just super legible on these adventure watches or sport watches. That's probably the best term for these Naviforces. $17 sport watch. This one also has day and date, and a cool one right here. So it's kind of in a semicircular presentation at the bottom. Same lettering as before. Second hand included. Here comes a different version. This one has a brown leather strap to it with a different coloration. So it's just like the one I showed you, except this one has a really good looking brown leather strap on it. I will say this, now that I think of it, we did have a failure of one of the clasps on one of the watches. So I forget if the buckle broke or something. I think so. So many watches, it's hard to keep track, but I think I did have a clasp failure on it. So it might have been this one that I put the band on. But again, for the cost, I mean, 17 bucks is cheaper than most watch bands for sure. Now notice the coloration on this one. Let me put it on the stand here. That it's kind of a, and I don't know if the lighting's picking this up, it's kind of a cream coloring. It's kind of tan against black. And then you have the thematic brown strap tying into that. This is a really good looking watch, and then with a black case, which I like. I love that. And thickness wise, I'm just measuring on camera oftentimes. Kind of fun to do it. I measure this at right about 11 millimeters in thickness, and then across right here for the whole case, it's nice and big the way I like an analog watch. 44 millimeters for the whole case. I love that. Totally love it, because it's just a good looking presentation on the wrist, which I guess I have to do. Hey man, you got to show it on your wrist. Okay, I have an ugly wrist, man, but whatever, dude. Here it comes. I'll do the brown one. Downsides will include, well, occasionally you will have a breakage. Like I said, the clasp. There it is on the wrist. See how big that watch is? That's a good looking watch, dude. Also, we talked about the crystal. It will scratch easily. I find the accuracy to be about It depends on which watch you're talking about, but probably about 20 to 30 seconds a month. So I wouldn't say they're totally tight, but heck, tight enough. There's a lot of other brands that are much more expensive that fall into that accuracy level. The Naviforce watches. Total wins, man. Like I said, just buy it. I'd be interested to see in the comments when you do buy it, go use it, come back, make a comment, and tell me about your experience. Did you like it? Did you hate it? Do you think it's a waste of $17? I'm laughing because it's only 17 bucks. I mean, the normal price of a knife that I review, I'll ballpark at, I don't know, 100 bucks. That's a normal price of a knife. One other version to show you, and this is just like that other one, but this one has a white Barton silicone band on it. So you can just kind of see what a white version would look like, the white band. And when we upgrade to the Barton band, we get a very high quality buckle, 2 silicone keeper straps. I didn't tell you the lug spacing on this. I think it's pretty big, like 24 millimeters on the Naviforce watches. 22. It's a 22 millimeter lug spacing. Of course, no drilled through lugs. We haven't had any problems in durability with the movement breaking, with the battery running out. None of that has happened with us. And we haven't had a problem with the cases scratching up too much. Now my son's, which I probably should have brought to tabletop, but he's wearing it down in college. He's got a lot more wear in his because he loves it so much. He's wearing it all the time. I've worn them in water conditions, like I said. They did not fail. Again, I did not scuba dive with them. But for the money, dude, for their looks, the Naviforce watches are phenomenal. Phenomenal. And a lot of the brands are built probably in the same factory, be my guess. They just don't label them as such. So Naviforce, we talked about the model numbers. I'll reiterate them and label them below in the links to Amazon. Totally worth it. Buy it, try it, get back to me. And if I get a lot of good feedback from dudes that have used it, I'll keep my likability super high, which is going to start out as, especially for the cost. And that's always an important thing, because likability is not just about how good the item is, but the value of an item. But if I get a bunch of negative reports from you guys in the next year, then maybe I'll bring my likability scale down. That will always be the tell. But from what I know right now, the Naviforce watches are superb.